The man was throwing a ton of cash round, causing a huge stir downstairs, but the crowd had no idea he had a hidden agenda. He was covering for his brother across the building, who was in the middle of a heist. John and his girlfriend arrived at a pre-arranged spot. After setting everything up, they dragged over a steel plate and connected the joints. Then they fixed the plate in the middle and drilled a hole to put the bomb in. Finally, they covered it all up with a mattress. With everything set, Nick made a fake move. The screams from downstairs perfectly masked the sound of the explosion. Nick let out a sigh of relief, but the real action was still ahead. He asked Lisa for a cigarette to calm down. Lisa saw this, lit the last cigarette and handed it to Nick. She told him to save half for her, but when Lisa took the remaining half, she immediately passed it to their colleagues in the room. They were going to collect fingerprints off the cigarette, but meanwhile John and his partner crawled through the hole created by the explosion into the ventilation system. They used a metal rod to stop the fan. Then they bent the blades and crawled through. Afterward, they input the password to get the elevator up to the top floor. They then used the elevator shaft to enter the diamond vault level. Next, they had to get past the security cameras. John laid down on a skateboard, covering himself with a cloth that matched the floor. The security guards were too busy watching the news about Nick jumping from a building to notice anyone sneaking by. When they reached a blind spot in the security feed, John pulled out a camera, snapped a few shots of the camera angles and printed them out. He stuck the pictures on a model to fake the real footage, but things didn't go as smoothly as they hoped. They ran into a problem. New sensors had been installed in the hallway. Both of them were stunned because this wasn't in the plan. John had to ask Nick for help, but with Lisa, the negotiation expert, right there, Nick couldn't just answer. He had to hint at what to do through his conversation with Lisa.
Listen, this thing that we got here, I think we should cool it down before you get into trouble.
Before John figured out what Nick meant, Lisa suddenly had an epiphany. It was a heat sensor. All they had to do was lower the temperature, so they grabbed a fire extinguisher and started spraying it as they moved forward. Eventually, they froze the sensor completely. Now they were at the vault door, ready to use their tools to get in through the side vent, but just then the police had traced Nick's identity from his fingerprints.